Welcome once again to exam focus tutorial. We'll be looking at logarithms of numbers greater than 1. Note, if you look at the signs, the various signs here stated here, this represent, when you see this sign, it implies that you're going to be dividing by 2. This will be divided by 3, and then you'll be dividing by 4. When you see to the power of 2, it means you are multiplying by 2, and you are multiplying by 3. Meaning that by the time you look for the log of a number, you divide it by 2. When you look for the log of a number, you divide by 3. When you look for the log of a number, you divide by 4. When you look for the log of a number, you multiply by 2. When you look for the log of a number, you multiply by 3. So quickly, we're going to be taking some example. It said, using log table, evaluate 69.24 times 8.31. And then 7,031 divided by 4.91. So remember, you can do this with your hands directly without calculator. You can do simple multiplication, but this time around, take note, we are asked to use log table to evaluate this. You can actually do this without logarithm table, without calculator, and then there are 3 approaches to working on this. You can use your log table, you can use your calculator, or you can solve it doing your simple arithmetics. But here we're instructed to use what? Log table. So let's get started. Okay, let's get started now. So we want to work on this. So what you first of all do, look at the question solution. You say number and log. This is the number, and then we want to look for the log of this. So quickly, first of all, the first thing to look for is the characteristics. How do we get our characteristics? You see, if you remember when you were taught standard form in JSS2, you have to move this decimal point in between the first 2 significant figures. The first 2 significant figure here is 6 and 9. So if you move this decimal point, you discover if you move it back here, it's going to be ones. So that is our characteristics. We put 1. Another way to get your characteristics is to count your number before the decimal point and remove 1. Let's count how many number do you have before decimal point. 1, 2. Remove 1. 2 minus 1 will give us 1. Then if you look here, how many value do we have? How many value do we have here before decimal point? Just 1 value. 1 minus 1 is 0. Alternatively, you can say that this decimal point is in between the first 2 significant figures. So we didn't move it at all. It's in between here. That is 0. It means it was not moved at all. That means this 0. So take note. I said 2 approaches. Either you move your decimal point to the first 2 significant between the first 2 significant figure, or you count the values before decimal point and remove 1. Let's count 1, 2 minus 1 is 1. This is 1, just 1 value, and subtract from 1 is 0. So quickly, we'll look for 69 under 2 difference 4. You have to use your log table to look for 69 under 2 difference 4. Take note. If you want to read this logarithm, this is the same as saying 69. This is the same thing as saying 69 under 2 difference 4. That is how to pronounce this. 69. Look at it carefully. So look at it carefully. 69 under 2 difference 4. That's how to pronounce this. 69 under 2 difference 4. 69 under 2 difference 4. So let's quickly look for the log of 69. So what will be the log of 69 under 2? 69 under 2 difference 4 is 8403. 8403. Remember, you add your difference. So then we're looking for 81 under 3. 81 under 3. So this one will be pronounced as 81 under 3. There is no difference. Look at it, 81. If there's a fourth value, that becomes the difference. Okay, 81 under 3. 81 under 3 will give us 9196. Will give us 9196. Take note of this multiplication sign. Remember in our law of indices, so there's relationship between indices and logarithm. Remember the law in indices that this will bring to addition of the power. The same thing happens here. So we're going to add because the operation here is going to be what? Addition, because of this multiplication sign. So when we add 3 plus 6 will give us 9. 0 plus 9 is 9. 1 plus 4 is 5. 8 plus 9 is 17. Then you carry 1, which is 2.7599. So at this point, you look for anti-log. Anti-log. Now, when looking for anti-log, you look for the anti-log of this part. Remember, logarithm has two sides. If you have not watched my video on log, on the basic laws of log, please try to go down and watch on the basic law of log so that you know. I was in the basic law of log, I define what a log is, and I told us that log has two parts: the characteristics and the MANTISSA. The characteristics and the MANTISSA. This part, the whole number is called the characteristics. The MANTISSA is the fraction part. So if you take note, the characteristics is 2 and the MANTISSA is 7599. So in looking for anti-log, you don't touch characteristics, you touch only the MANTISSA, which is 75 under 9 difference 9. 75 under 9 difference 9. So 75 under 9 difference 9, that will give you a very simple value. That will give you 5741. 5741. 5741. Difference 9, that is 75 under 9 is 5741. Then difference 9 will give you 12. Difference 9 will give you 12. You add your difference. This will give you 3, 5, 7, 5. Therefore, now write that 69.24 times 8.31 is equal to 5753. We want to input our decimal point now. This value is 2. Take note, the first digit here is 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. Then yes, if here is 0, here is minus 1, minus 2, and so forth. So from the first two significant figure, remember in standard form, here is our 0, this 1, 2, and so on. Here is negative. So since we have 2 here, so here is 0, this 1 and 2. So here's our decimal point. So it's going to be 575.3. That's our answer. 575.3. That is our answer. Okay, this is example 2. Quickly, we want to look at example 2. How do we work on this? Take note of the sign here. This time around is division. Before it was it was multiplication. Now it's division. See what is going to be our operation now. So this is 7,031. So what is our characteristics? We said either you move your decimal. There's an invisible decimal point, an imaginary decimal point at the end of every whole number. Either you move it 1, 2, 3, or you count the number 1, 2, 3, 4 minus 1 will give you 3 point. That's your characteristics, and we'll just have one digit before decimal point, and you subtract 1 from that one digit, becomes 0. So we now look for 70 under 3 difference 1. 70 under 3 difference 1. 70 under 3 difference 1 will give us 8471. 8471. 8471. Then we look for 49 under 1 difference 1. 49 under 1 difference 1. That will give us 6912. 69. So what will be our operation here? Because it's division, we'll now subtract. 1 minus 2 is not possible. Borrow 1, that is 11. 11, you remove 2, it becomes 9. Then you have 6 left. 6 minus 1 is 5. Here is 4 minus this is not possible. Borrow 1, that is 14. Side 14, you remove 9. To still give us 5. What do you have left here? 7 minus 1 is 1. And then we put our point. 3 minus 0 is 3. Then we look for anti-log. Like I told you, you don't look for the anti-log of the characteristics. Is the MANTISSA, which is 15 under 5 difference 9. 15 under 5 difference 9. 15 under 5 difference 9. That will give you 1432. That will give us what? Anti-log. Which will give us 1432. Like I said, 1432. 1432. So look for the, so this is what we are going to place our decimal point. We'll now say that therefore 7031 divided by 4.911 is equal to 1432. Remember this 3, so we said it's 0, 1, 2, and here is 3. So add 0. It's 1. Are we taking that value? Okay. Let's use 0.0378. 0. So take note, log of numbers less than 1. We are looking at log of numbers what? Less than 1. If you look at this, 0.5624 is less than 1. 0.037 8 is less than 1, 0.003512 is less than 1. So how do we go about this? Same thing we have done before, the same procedure, but just take note that our value is less than 1, so it will affect our characteristics. Our characteristics at this point will be negative because it's less than 1. It will be negative. So for example, now by rule of standard form, we are to move the decimal point in between the first two significant figures, which is 5 and 6. So if we move it once, it becomes bar 1, which is minus 1. You come here, you also move decimal point in between 3 and 7, which is 1, 2, which is bar 2. And so the log of, look for the log of 56 under 2 difference 4, which will give us 7500. Let's look for the log of 37 under 8. Log of 37 under 8. Log of 37 under 8 is 2775. 2775. And so what will be our operation? Our operation, remember, is multiplication sign. So we're going to add. 0 plus 5 is 5. 0 plus 7 is 7. 5 plus 7 is 12. Write down 2, carry 1. 7 plus 2 is 9. Plus 1 is 10. You write 0, carry 1. Then you add 1 to this place, which is 1 plus minus 1, which is 0. Then 0 plus minus 2 is minus 2, which is bar 2. I know you might be confused. We said 2 plus 7, it will give us what? 9, plus the 1 we have is 10. So write 0, carry 1 to this place, which is 1 minus 1. You add 1 to minus 1, it will give you 0. Plus minus, this is the same as minus 2. 0 plus minus 2, which is 0 plus times minus is minus, which is minus 2, which is the same thing as bar 2. So that's why we got this bar 2. So we are saying that we borrow, after adding we got 10, write 0, carry 1 here. 1 plus minus 1 is 0. 0 plus minus 2 will give us minus 2. And so we look for anti-log. Look for anti-log. Remember I told you anti-log of your MANTISSA, not your characteristics. So anti-log of 0.2 under 7 difference 5. 0.2 under 7 difference 5 is as simple as having 0. Okay, quickly, that will give us okay, please take notes, that is supposed to be 5775, not 2, please. Rather, this is 5, point of correction, please. This is 5775. So 7 plus 5 will give you 12. You write 2 plus 1, which is 13. Remember, this is 13. You carry 1 here, which is 0, which is about 2 point what? 3275. So we look for 32 under 7 difference 5. 32 under 7 difference 5. That is going to give us 0. That will give us 2 1 2 5. 2 1 2 5. That will give us 2125. We'll now write that therefore 0.5624 divided by 0.0378 is equal to 2. So we're going to write is equal to 2125. Now remember, we have bar 2. I told you here is 0, so here will be bar 1. We'll write 0. Got it. Bar 1, bar 2. We'll put our point here. We'll say 0. So this will be your answer. Remember, we're able to place our decimal point on this our answer by checking we have bar 2, which is 0 1 2. I say if it's positive, you count rightward. If it's negative, you count leftward. Take note. Okay, quickly, this example 2 with the same procedure. Let's look at example 2. Remember, our first two significant figure here is 3 and 5. 3 and 5. So let's move the decimal point 1 2 3, which is bar 3. Yeah, now let's move the decimal point. This is the first two significant figures, 6 and 2. Let's move it 1, which is bar 1. Put our point. So we're going to say that 35 under 1 difference 2. 35 with your log table. Make sure you have your log table around while you are working on this. That will give us 5455. 5455. That will give us 5455. Then we look for 62. 62 under 0 difference 7. 62 under 0 difference 7. That will give us 7929. 7929. 7929. This is giving us 7929. Quickly, we are going to do a carry out operation. Our operation this time around is going to be negative because of division sign. If it was multiplication, we add. This is division, so we subtract. 5 minus this is not possible. You add 1 to it. It becomes 15. 15 minus 9. 15 minus 9 will give us 6. We have 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. 4 minus 9 is not possible. Borrow 1 from here. It becomes 14. 14 minus 9 will give us 5. And then we have 4 left here. 4 minus 7 is not possible. I want you to learn something. See, we're going to do something here. We're going to borrow from the negative value. So anytime you borrow from a negative number, the number will increase by 1. Take note. So I borrow 1. So minus 3 minus 1 will give us minus 4, which is the same thing as what? Bar 4. So I borrow 1 and put here. Here becomes 15. Here becomes 14. Rather, 14 minus 7 is 7. And what do I have here now? So yes, automatically bar 4 from what we said. We said when you remove 1, look at it, minus 3, remove 1, which is minus 1, give us minus 4, which is in as bar 4. So automatically here is bar 4. So we now say that bar 4, which is here, minus 1, because bar 1 means minus 1, which is going to give us minus 4 plus 1, which is in as minus 4 plus 1, which is minus 3, which is bar 3. Which is bar what? 3. Which is bar what? 3. Take note, you might be confused. Let's go. 5 minus this is not possible. Borrow 1, that is 15 minus 9, 6. Here we have 4 left. 4 minus 2 is 2. And here we have 4 minus 9, which is not possible. Borrow 1 from here, become 14. 14 minus 9 is 5. And we have 4 left here. And 4 minus 7 is not possible. So we'll borrow 1 from here. And anytime you borrow from a negative number, it increases by 1. So we borrow 1 from here. Here become 14. 14 minus 7 is 7. And we have bar 4, because you say minus 3, remove 1 from it, become minus 4. And so we have bar 4. So here automatically it's no longer bar 3, but bar 4. Remember, so bar 4 minus 1 is the same as saying minus 4 minus 1, which is what we have here. Minus 4 minus 1, which is minus is plus, which is minus 4 plus 1, which is minus 3. That's how we got this bar 3. So we'll look for anti-log of the MANTISSA, remember, not the characteristic MANTISSA, which is 75 under 2 difference 6. 75 under 2 difference 6. 75 under 2 difference 6. That will give us 5, 6, 5, 7. That will give us 5, 6, 5, 7. So write that therefore 0.003512 divided by 0.627 is equal to 5, 6, 5, 7. So how do we place our decimal point? Remember, this bar 3, meaning this is 0, 1, 2, then this 3. Take note, 1, 2, 3. This is our answer. Thank you for watching. If you love our content, remember to subscribe, click on the notification bell, and for future upload. If you still have questions you would like us to work on as pertaining to this topic, logarithm of number less than 1, greater than 1, you can drop your question in the comment section. Probably we'll get it across to you any moment from now. Thank you. Remember to subscribe for future upload. Click on the notification bell. If you are watching this on Facebook, try to follow, like, comment, and share. Thank you. This still is exam focused tutorial. Your success is our concern.